You are going to have some tenants do some damages. You are going to have to do capital improvements to the property. You are going to have repairs. You are going to have taxes and insurance. And if you are not doing the very basic math on the front end to make sure that those things are covered, then you're in for a surprise. There are some things we can do to kind of mitigate those problems. There's unfortunate things that happen, right? Somebody can get sick, somebody can lose a job, they can get divorced. Even a perfect vetting process doesn't guard against all these potential issues.
Welcome to another REI-NWA Podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Coley Bailey, principal broker at Lone Rock Realty, and this is podcast number 47. And we've got a repeat guest here, Tyler Casey with Proex Properties.
Good to see you again.
Absolutely, man. Glad to have you back on. The first one, by the way, I don't know if I want to recommend people to go watch the first one because we didn't have good microphones. We were in the REI office. It just I don't know. Great information, actually. But production quality wasn't quite up to where we're at now. So.
Isn't that a thing now, though? People like it to be more, more real, more.
I think it comes down to the information, to be totally honest. Yeah. But anyway, so we'll recap a little bit about who you are and your company and all that kind of stuff. But I just want to mention that the program that's coming up is a landlord lunch, and we're going to be talking about what happens when a lease gets broken. So move out, assessing damages, all of that kind of stuff. This is one of those things that people just aren't always prepared for. And then when it happens, you kind of have to think through that process. So we'll get into that a little bit. But tell us about the origins of Proex Property Management.
We started in Pittsburgh, Kansas in 2009. So we've been in the property management business for 14 years. I'd like to say that we're more than just a property management company. We're really a holistic real estate investing service that helps people build a portfolio, not just fixes toilets and leases apartments.
Yep.
We like to provide people with investment advice and analysis, help aid in due diligence. We have construction services in-house, so if somebody wants to develop a rental property or rehab a rental property, we can handle all that for them.
Yep.
And we also have the brokerage, which really what we primarily do is, almost like wholesaling. It's more like we're deal sourcing for our clients
right.
So
you're going out and finding deals.
Yeah. We're really more like, I would say, a wholesaler.
Yeah.
And we have some agents that work in the office that are, more retail focused. But that's kind of not the primary function. So.
Got it. Yeah. Very investor focused.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. All right. So let's dig into this topic a little bit. What are some of the things that catch people by surprise when somebody breaks their lease and they're gone and, places maybe in kind of a wreck?
The first mistake is investors don't allow for that when they're analyzing deals.
Yep.
So it is going to happen some small percentage of the time when you own rental property. When you're looking at a property to purchase, you should be, factoring in, I think the industry standard's something like 8% for, vacancy and credit loss.
Yeah.
Because you are going to miss some months here and there. You are going to have some tenants do some damages. You are going to have to do capital improvements to the property. You are going to have repairs. You are going to have taxes and insurance. And if you are not doing the very basic math on the front end to make sure that those things are covered, then you're in for a surprise.
Right. You got to think at least 3 steps ahead and look at all those variables that might be out there to bite you.
So that would be the first thing I would say to protect yourself against those downside risks, is to make sure you just kind of bake it into your numbers and your due diligence when you're buying an investment property.
Yeah.
There are some things we can do to kind of mitigate those problems. Like we obviously are vetting every tenant that we put into place. Yeah. We're running credit and background checks. We're making sure they have no evictions, no foreclosures, no bankruptcies in the last 7 years. We're making sure that they don't have any collections for anything other than medical or student loan debt in forbearance. We might allow that.
Yeah.
We're making sure that they have sufficient income to make the payments every month.
Yeah.
And of course, those circumstances on paper at the time that the snapshot that you look at those things can change.
Yeah.
Somebody can get sick. There's unfortunate things that happen, right? Somebody can get sick. Somebody can lose a job. They can get divorced.
Yeah.
So even a perfect vetting process doesn't guard against all these potential issues. And also, there's nothing you could do in the vetting process that's going to say this person won't cause damages to the property.
Right.
You can pretty well verify that they can afford the home at the time that you're, checking their stuff. And our process works really well. I mean, we collect 97.5% of gross available rents across an 1,800 unit portfolio in 5 cities.
Yep.
That eliminates most of those problems. Does not eliminate all of those problems.
Right.
Sometimes somebody can have military service and you have to let them out of a lease.
Right.
Sometimes something can happen where a pipe breaks and floods the unit. Nothing that anybody can control.
Yeah.
But the unit becomes uninhabitable. So now they can rightfully, legally void their lease and move out.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of circumstances where you can get out of a lease, but uninhabitable conditions or military service are definitely,
those are some big ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Two ways that somebody can void a lease and leave unexpectedly and leave you with more vacancy than maybe you would have planned on.
So how do you assess the costs, like for damages and things like that? And, and what kind of damages can you actually charge back to them?
Anything that's not wear and tear, which is kind of, a loose guideline, but the way that you insure, whether it's wear and tear or damages, the way that we do it is we do a video when they move in, 360 view, every room, floor to ceiling. And that's how we've prepared it for them for rent.
Yeah. Wow.
And then we do the same video with the second date at move out, exactly the same process. And there's also checklists that accompany that. Then our team goes back through, checks those videos against each other.
Yeah.
And we actually have a move in, move out handbook that we send to every tenant.
Okay.
Like when they move in and when they move out, with a checklist with prices for some common damages that they cause, like cleanings, carpet cleanings, things like that. This is what you're going to be charged out of your deposit should you not perform this task on your checklist.
Yep.
And they do have a detailed move out guideline in that, right? So here's all the things, all the steps that you need to do to get 100% of your deposit back. And we actually start that with a title page that is the 100% deposit back guarantee to the tenant.
Cool.
If you do these things, you'll get 100% of your deposit back.
Yeah.
It
That's
does
one
happen.
of the things that irks people so much. They're like, you never get your deposit back. But like actually showing them this is how you get it,
if
and this is what is required.
It works.
Yeah.
The ones who are serious, professional people that read it, take it seriously, follow the guidelines, they get 100% of their deposit back and leave happy.
Yep.
The people that don't.
It's really great to have a process to be able to do that.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
And we have somebody on our team in every city that is that's like their whole job.
Yeah.
Is move in, move out process.
Yeah.
They're trained on exactly all the steps to follow, and they've got their checklists for their various tasks so that they know they don't miss anything, like utility turn-ons and lawn mowings and all the little things that, somebody trying to do it themselves may go, I forgot that. Now the yard's 2 feet tall and I've got a $300 bill from the city.
Right.
We kind of have a systematic approach to avoid some of those things.
Yeah. Obviously, I know that our guests coming to the program are going to get some phenomenal tips. I mean, I think just listening to this podcast, I already learned a handful of things, I think, that are going to be really useful. So, I think this is going to be a really good talk. This is going to be, again, a landlord lunch. So it's going to be at the Wagon Wheel Cafe at noon on September 19th, 2024. So come on out and meet Tyler. And is Renee going to be there too?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool. So meet Tyler and Renee, ask your questions, and get all the details on the checklist and ask your questions there for sure. So, as usual, $0 at the door if you're an REI-NWA member, $20 if you're not. But why not? You should probably go ahead and do it. We got 4 programs a month and tons of value. So, I mean, if you come to the right program, you're going to get your entire year's worth of value just in that one session. So,
what is it? A couple $100?
Yeah, it's a couple $100 a year.
I don't even remember. I pay a membership.
Yeah, it comes at.
I think ours is a corporate, so we have several users who can.
Yeah, and there are several different levels. Look at REI-NWA.com and find the right package for you. But definitely come to this one with Tyler, Casey, and man, I just love what you guys are doing over at Proex. Great stuff. I mean, I think if the whole industry operated that way, we'd have a lot happier tenants and a lot better experience for investors all around.
We definitely are trying to set the industry standard. In fact, that's one of our core values is change the industry standard and seek innovation and improvement. We've invested $2 million in building a property management software product is going to make it to where a lot of the human error type things that can still happen, even in a system like ours that's very kind of regimented and has processes built into it, sort of go away. We're definitely trying to be better, trying to be different, trying to have it all dialed in to solve all the little problems that can come up with rental property.
Fantastic, man. All right, well, come to this landlord lunch. We'll see you then. That's it for this podcast. We'll catch you on the next one.